Alrighty, might as well get this started then. Alrighty, might as well get this started then. And I've got Twitch up here. Whoops. Let's mute that. Alrighty. So, since it has been a long time since I've actually played this, and I did not get that very far in it, and I have not done a lot of strategy games in a while, alrighty, we're going to start brand new. The story in the Banner Saga changes based on your choices. You will occasionally switch between lead characters, witnessing the story unfold from different perspectives. The gods are dead. Well, cheery start. In their wake, man and giant survived through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers called Dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. That's uplifting. Only one thing has stopped. The sun. That is a terrifying thought, actually. Stoic. Bomb.
Að sjá dreggjana á ferli meðal vor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital.
That's what it looks like.
Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Ah, crap! What happens when someone who is about 4 times your size walks in and goes, howdy? Alrighty. What'd you call my mother? Okay. You've arrived just in time. The chieftain in red and his men are now looking at a tougher fight than they bargained for. Drag around the screen to see your surroundings. Click the check mark to continue. Okay. Seriously, all these people, and the only guy besides his men was him. Those are the only people that have weapons? No one else in here is willing to defend him? Great. These portraits show the order of initiative, taking turns from left to right. Your allies are blue, the enemy is red. It's your turn to act. Movement happens before action. This ring shows your shield banger is active. Shield banger is active. The blue tiles around him show where he can move. Some characters fill more tiles than others. Well, yeah, he's a big guy. The horned allies are a race of giants called Varl, who take up 4 tiles each, while humans fill a single tile. This can have a huge impact on your strategy. Click on the tile you want to move to, then click the check mark to confirm. Move your shield banger here to get him into attack range. Alrighty. To target an enemy, click the tile in which they stand. Ally tiles are blue, the enemies are red. Target this enemy now by clicking this tile. You can choose to either attack the enemy's strength or break his armor. The numbers beneath each icon, 2 and 5, show the damage you will do to that stat. Strength counts as both health and damage. A loss of 2 strength means you'll now do 2 less damage. If strength falls to 0, that character falls in battle. Armor blocks strength damage, but can be reduced by a break attack. By breaking armor, you can open them up to take more damage in the future. This enemy has only 5 strength remaining, and a strength attack will kill him. Click the fist now to attack his strength, then confirm your choice. Sorry, dude guy. You dead. He's down. Each time you make a kill, your renown grows, which is used later to improve your characters. After taking an action, your turn ends. Next up is the enemy. Turns always alternate, even if you are outnumbered. Despite being at full strength, the chieftain will do little damage against your shieldbanger's high armor. Tink. Now it's your Warhawk's turn. He appears to be out of range of these enemies, but all characters can use willpower to boost their actions. Willpower is a limited resource, so use it wisely. By clicking on gold tiles, a character can move further than usual at the cost of 1 willpower per gold tile. Red pulsing tiles beneath your enemy show how close you'll have to move to be in range. Move your Warhawk into attack range now. Alrighty. Standard attacks only affect a single enemy, but your Warhawk has a special ability that gives him a unique advantage. Click your Warhawk's tile to access his ability, which is called Tempest. Clicking your character's tile will bring up all of his combat options, including move, ability, attack, and end turn. Ability icon. Ability descriptor appears in the tooltips below. The Warhawk's Tempest allows him to slam multiple enemies at once. Select an enemy, then confirm your choice. Poor suckers. That made quick work of the chieftain's bodyguards. When there is 1 enemy left, players enter Pillage mode. During Pillage, each character moves in order and there are no more guaranteed turns. Check the initiative to see how the order has changed. Your allies now get to move twice in a row, because there's 2 of us and only him. If a character does not move on his turn, he can rest to regain 1 willpower. The chieftain will rest this turn. Looks like the chieftain is in some trouble. Your shieldbanger won't be able to finish the job with a normal attack, but willpower can be used to boost your damage. Click the chieftain's tile to attack. Yep. Click the fist and then the star above the fist to add willpower. This number of stars available each turn are determined by your exertion stat. You'll see the damage number go up as you add willpower. Click the star and then the green checkmark to kill this enemy. Bye-bye. Stabby, stabby. Okay. Yay for the tutorial match! 6 renown gained.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the threats arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more threats to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his last. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head. I'm in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
Dang, that's a lot of corpses. Whether or not that guy actually was the man in charge of the brigands, having killed that many of this guy's men is kind of damning act. Alrighty. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts to the chase. Eric, Steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Hello, Eric. Ubin, isn't it? Let's be a little more on the polite side of things. It is. Governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. Let's see now. What did you have in mind? I didn't exactly agree. Seems a bit chaotic around here, Eric. It's been worse. Really? Would never have guessed. Lots of irons in the fire. I wonder what you mean by that. What does he want exactly? Skull things that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out that chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Intriguing. Skull things. That was probably the group he was talking about. Click the market tent to visit the merchants. Let me handle this. Alrighty, fine. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. That's usually not a good sign, dude. Work on your poker face. Hard! I'm not in the mood today. Whew. Well, that's, quite the how do you do, isn't it? For what? Talking to an idiot. Eric's a bit on the sass, isn't he? The Skullfing's chieftain bled out about an hour ago, Hard. So when you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's going to try and kill you this time. Wow! Whew! Eric! Sass may be a little weak of a word for you. They don't talk to me! I'm not sure which is worse, that you're saying you don't talk to them or they don't talk to you. Do I let Eric handle it? Or do I... Ubin's an old hand at this. We'll let him do that. Oh! Eric overturns his flimsy table, scattering Had's assortment of junk across the ground. Gods, Eric! Laying it on a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the skull things? Nobleman, up by East Wall! But that was months ago, last I know! Had skulks away with a wave of Eric's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? Yeah, that's a good question. Granulf, were you wearing green back in the Great Hall? No, just bought them while you were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. They look good. They look good. I'm glad you care. Granulf goes off to look at more stalls. Eric, that man of yours seems unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't trust Hard, but he used to be Skulfing. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not a new one. Nobleman is a meat hall? Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of these skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. Shouldn't we have an approach? Oh, what a luxury. Come on, you've already mopped up worse today. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual tithe. I'll remind him. Whew. Depending on the tithe, still, double is always worth a lot. Renown, morale, how many days it's been supplies, borrows, fighters, and clansmen. Well, let's go to the nobleman. You arrive in front of what must be nobleman. A few minutes later, Eric appears with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I'll point them out, Eric says over his shoulder. Ready? Shh, let's get it over with. You're walking through the front door. Yeah, let's ask that. They ran to a meat house, says Valgard. I'll be surprised if they can stand up straight right now. Alright, here we go. Valgard boots in the front door, opens so hard. Wow. Boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eric is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken skullthings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and mead steins in the process. No party fouls here, boys, no party fouls. For that you die. Says something if that's what I'm worried about. Alrighty, how many we got here? Ooh, that's a fair amount of opponents. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. 7 opponents, all shield bangers. 6, 6, 5, 8, 5, 8. He's the leader, that's why he's 5, 8, 5, 8. 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay, so all the sword-wielding ones, aside from this guy, he's a 6, 6. Okay, I've got 4 guys. United Shield Wall. Let's put you over here more. Stick you in between the 2 shields. I was hoping for more of a fight than this. Let's rest this turn. Let them walk up to me. Howdy. That's some lovely armor you have there. I'm gonna destroy it. One shot! Boom! Stone wall. Blocks damage to strength and armor for 1 round. That's useful, actually. Let's move you to the other side of him. And we'll wait. Beating away on my armor. Bastards. Bye-bye. Appreciate that. Ow! Yeah, no, we're taking you out now. No more of that. Oh, whoa! I thought he had some more health on him than that. Yeesh. Oopsie. That hurt. Can't one-shot him. Can't really one-shot either of them either. Tempest will not hit him. You move next. Ooh. Hey, buddy. You don't get a move next. And they dropped him. Whoopsie. Okay. Well, that could have gone better. Tempered by blood, pain, Eric is ready to be. Has been injured in this battle. Yeah, maybe I should have been a little, more cautious about that. Oopsie. There they are. Gods be damned. I've got to go wash off this blood. Wow. Not sure if I really like Eric or don't like him yet. Eric is looking out of the hull's windows out onto the bay. A fleet of longships approach with sails of bold red and blues. One banner I know well, Vognir. Next for Varl Kingship last we spoke. The other fag? Looks important. Oh, Ubin. Important guests. See what I deal with all day long? Ah, things make a little more sense. You hoped I'd have a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Yeah, I can see nobles not liking that. Can I ask one more favor? You owe me. We'll say you owe me too. If you happen to stall our guests down on the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eric and Valgard hustle from the mead house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeeper a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrivals down the docks. Yeah. Since we killed his patrons. Sorry about that, Governor. Ah, bad. Vognir. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version tramping the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. God, Zubin, you're looking ancient. Well, jeez. Dick. Comes with being old. And if there is Vognir, there must be Hakon. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yucks? At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Jorundir demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. You'd think so. Well, I guess Ubin is just kind of a tax collector from the sounds of it. Just returned from Aberang, in fact. And glad for it. Yeah. Guess Hakon would prefer to be in Grofheim. Hakon motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering, golden wolf head emblazoned on red. The king of men, or someone on his behalf. The king's whelp. The king's son, Ludin. Don't you know, Scivener? We visit his capital. He visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Got it. So we've got the one who obviously is more of the diplomat and the guy who'd prefer to be drinking. Yes, Hakon has it. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakon. Then you're going to Grofheim? I have the distinct feeling I finished my business at Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. We should. Give it a day. In better circumstances, I'd drink a week away, but... Let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. I work in customer service, and I know what that phrase means. Oh boy. Where is Morger, Hakon? Have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few, others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Morger. See you in the morning, Scivener. I'll be alone. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Luden looks like all the world, the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs off spiders. The long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think. Oh boy. Wonder how one would feel about that. Weariness suddenly settles in, and you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it has been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Vognir's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Hakon, or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. I don't know, that sounded less highly and more sarcastic. So do I go and talk with Luden? Or do I speak with Hakon? Or do I go up to the Great Hall and just say, screw you all, I'm going to bed? What would be the more diplomatic? Especially since this is a choice, I'm guessing I don't get to talk to each person in turn. Let's talk with Luden. Be the more diplomatic. Even if I am just a tax collector. Is this the right place? You find the prince at an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varl who must be working for Luden. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Luden. Yes, you're with Vognir? I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Vognir a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Luden looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying tithes to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. I get the feeling that is also a sarcastic comment. What do you want? Shui. Just to introduce myself, I hope to learn more about you, or I have a habit of recording history. I thought we might talk about your visit. I'm going to go with the more historian aspect. A vile historian! Aha! Don't you already know? Your king and mine both have been practically trumpeting it throughout the cities. I've been on the road a while, I'm afraid. Luden takes a deep sigh. Whether tired or ungracious, you aren't certain. Maybe both. Both. Both is good. A formality, mostly. Vognir came to our capital in Aborang, and now we go to the Varl's capital in Grofheim, to cement this grand alliance for the next age of men and Varl. You sound unconvinced. There's no need for it, and it's damned cold up here. Wuss. You should visit Alaska, you punk. You get the sense he's struggling not to complain outright. You take the opportunity to excuse yourself. Well, that was enlightening. Alright, we'll go talk to Hakon now. Skivner! Or Scrivener. I think that'd be Scrivener. You find Hakon in a meat house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakon waves you over. Went straight for a flagon? Vognir's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. Excuses. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Ha! Humans. I guess if I only lived as long as a Yox fart, I might be desperate to make something for myself, too. It's not too late to start trying, Hakon. Oh! I sense there's a history there. Hakon lets slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting a swath through Dredge at Vognir's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here, I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point. Just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. And the detail on the eyes. The little details of the wind. God, I'm trying to remember when this was made. I want to say it was also a kickstarted. If so, good work on this. You drink until the meat house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cool air outside. Alrighty. Well, I guess that means now I can go to the Great Hall and find a place to rest. At dawn, you're awoken by a delivery of goods. At least, you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with a sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supply leathers. All there, just as promised, to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eric had anything to do with that. Probably. Given that he seems to be the big guy in charge. Or, the second in command is normally the one doing most of the work, so... Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Vognir is already here. A while later, Ludin and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Wow, really? How much did you have to drink? Morgir steps forward, Vognir's quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you are ready to depart. We're ready. You follow Morgir and join the others. Usually, the smaller doors set into the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd? But there's nothing of the sort, just frustrated, tired people. It summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think. Well, that's kind of sad. Very sad indeed. And I think this is when I jump over to... Nope, still with these guys. Man, 366 files. My god. Just thinking of the logistics of having a caravan of 400 people. Morale's declined? What? Is that just because each day passed, or is that because I have to deal with the prince? The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Morgir, cracking open mead casks. From our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass, with raucous laughter as the mead is passed throughout the camp. Toast to Vognir. You raise your drink, toasting the alliance between man and Varl. The others join in. Ludin's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually, you sit down beside Vognir. First, I'm going to go get a drink, because my throat is starting to hurt. Oh. And then I will chat with Vognir. So, chat with Vognir. Thanks for the speech, slurs Vognir. How much has he had already? Looks like you didn't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Morgir. I thought the damned governor would never shut up. Got it. Yeah, he's into his cups and not being very diplomatic right now. Did he give you the history of his entire family? Yeah, actually he did. He tried. Then he asked me to clean up his mess. For your benefits, turns out. I'd have given the job to you, too. Gods, there's no joy in politics. Speaking of, what happens after this business with Ludin? Hopefully the boy goes back to Aborang on his own, and I can take out some frustration on Dredge or something. Sounds like diplomatic missions are not his friends. Starting to sound like Hakon. You don't like the life of a diplomat? Don't you miss the fight, Ubin? You down your meat instead of replying. Vognir slouches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge. But this... Pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between the two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be, warriors would follow you for what you've done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it? Or is it because I'm the next in line? These lines are getting muddy, old Varl. They've always been muddy, Vognir. Vognir stares into the campfire, lost in thought. You leave him to it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Your eyes groggily, the campsite a casualty of merriment. Morgir is already kicking warriors awake when you spot Ludin stalking your direction. He sidesteps the sleeping bodies. Better wake up, you nudge Vognir. You're needed. Oh boy, what now? Oh boy. Ah, it's Ludin! Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Vognir releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grofheim? Ha! We're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. Drag the map to look around. A portrait icon shows where your caravan is in the world. You can also tap on any location to get some history about it. When you're done with the map, tap X at the bottom of the screen. Got it. So we're here. Up on last gate. Where is Grofheim? Two Spears, Skyhorn. The hell is... Oh, that's Greyhorn. Einertoft. Where is Grofheim in all of this? Ridgehorn, the Long Reach, Shield. The Brotherbrick Peaks. Pura Pass. Ah, Grofheim is past Two Spears. So we could either take north of Verdfell and then go to Shield and then east of there, or the Wandering Road to Einertoft through Burris Pass and then back around. An unusual gap in the Valsmarch Mountains looked like two great spears at a gate. For decades it became a bloody corridor between the Varl forces and the Dredge to the north, until the second Varl king, Onfinner, endeavored to build a sprawling fortress here, which would eventually become Grofheim, the Varl capital. About last gate, what is... Crossing of the small bridge leading from Verdfeld onto the Wandering Road, marked as a small but significant moment in which the Varl truly separated itself from humanity in search of their own lands. Named Bad Weather, the gales that blow in from the bay and around the mountain peaks keep Vedrefell in a generally unpleasant state. What really cemented the name was the kind of person who would live there. Men cast out from Strand from one reason or another, with nowhere else to go. Great. So, a self-imposed version of Australia then, before Australia kind of became much better than that, but still. As close as anything comes to a bastion of racial tolerance, both men and Varl compete to scratch out a living in this, the biggest trade city along the west coast. Many people still believe the god Dengler still watches over it, granting good fortune. And I apologize for every mispronunciation I do, because... English speaking primarily, and I know a little bit of pronunciation for German, French, and Italian. Don't ask much more than that. Okay, then. Frozen Tombs. While the constellations at one time represent not only the gods, but a way to navigate the seas at night. Since the gods have died, the stars form nothing but random, faint patterns. Oh, that actually kind of sucks. Oh, That'd be really terrible if you didn't have the constellations to go by anymore. Early did mankind begin sailing up and down the coast, but also out into the vast, searching for new continents. Of the many secrets the early sailors learned was the sunstone, which helped them to deduce the direction they were sailing, even with the sun shrouded behind clouds. But what about the stars? The waters to the west were named not for their reach, but for their depth. Longships lost even somewhat close to the shore are best considered gone to the depths forever. Wow, that's slightly terrifying. Dang. So they just came in. Ah, they sailed up the coast this way. Up to Strand. The early days of the Horseborn are a tragic tale indeed, no tale more so than that of the Plains of Slaughter, where fury set man's treatment of horses and conflicted emotions about their own relationships to the beasts stole and slaughtered the horses wholesale in defiance. As time passed, they would deeply regret the decision and withdraw further into horseborn territories, cutting themselves off from the other intelligent races completely. That's right, I think... my friend was saying that centaurs essentially appear in the second one. So, if you complete it, you get more stuff that's down in this area. Okay then. We head north, then east past the forts. Grofheim's far from Strand. It's going to be a long march. You should have drank last night, Ludin. Why not take the ships to Skrimmerstead? What's the point of marching? Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. It would tear up the longships. Too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of Skrimmerstead. Skrimmerstead, I'm going to go with that. A half-sunken city crawling with dredge prints, dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Ludin exhales through his nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthill, Vognir. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off, too. Ouch. Like I said, not being so diplomatic anymore. Ludin's got a shorter wick than Hakon. Thanks, Vognir. Let's get moving. Another half day to Verdfell if we're lucky. Vedrafell. Vedrafell. The R is after the D. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter camp at any time by tapping the camp button on the travel HUD. While at camp or in towns, you can upgrade your allies or equip items in the Hero's Tent. You can pass time by using the Rest Tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. High morale will reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. Each passing day will use supplies, so only rest when necessary. The Training Tent will allow you to safely try out any characters in a mock battle. Tap Leave at the bottom of the campsite when you're ready to go back on the road. Click on the Hero's Tent. One or more of your units is injured. Injured units can still fight, but have a penalty to max strength equal to the number of days wounded. They heal as time passes when resting in camp. Yep, Tempest. Got passive as well. Oh, that's cool. Back on Ludin and Gunolf. Injured. Pale knockback 1 tile. Spearman skewers his enemy, doing normal strength damage before kicking them away, doing knockback and causing them to bleed if they move on their next turn. Character who is bleeding will take 1 strength damage for each tile that they move. How? Which can be especially deadly for enemies that are moved against their will. Got it! Oh, and it counts if you move them against their will. That's... okay. So if you have displacement abilities, you can basically make someone bleed to death. Each kill the Spearman makes encourages allies to fight harder, granting 1 willpower to the Spearman and adjacent allies. Well, that's cool. Ludin is the Prince of Men, first heir of a vast kingdom. Though disliked by peers and rivals on account of his high-born attitude, read asshole, few question his intelligence, combat skills, and courage. Cool. Cool. Hakon. Hakon is something of a legend in Varl culture. When he met Vognir, it was during the Second Great War, in which the two became known for cutting swaths through dredge where others were struggling just to stay alive. Vognir was always the charismatic leader, but there was no question about which of the two would win in a fight. Morgan is an old hand in Varl culture, long on the front line of the fight against the dredge. He's had the occasional brush with leading a clan of his own, but eventually settled well into commanding Vognir's personal army of Varl warriors, and is highly respected among them. Bring the pain. Master strikes an adjacent enemy for armor break damage before hunkering down and boosting his passive ability, Return the Favor, to return even more break damage for 1 turn. By using Bring the Pain, the Shield Master can create a forward charge that punishes enemies for ganging up against him. Character who attacks the shield banger loses 1 point of armor for each strike he makes. Return the Favor triggers every time the shield banger takes damage from an adjacent enemy, which can make it devastating to hit him with attacks that strike multiple times. That is useful. Gnolf Tempest and Heavy Impact, we already saw that, but I had not seen this. When Ubin became the Varl King's tax collector, he was given an entourage of bodyguards to help transport gold collected across Hraun? Or yeah, that's an H. Hraun. Gunolf is the only one from the original group still alive, and for good reason. Well, that says something. Dang. 34 renowned. Well then, since I have someone injured, I need to rest. He needs 1 more day. Let's be on the safe side. And off we go!
Wedurfell. Even the name means bad weather, where frozen wind sweeps in from the bay. They tend livestock, but most are just men driven from Strand with nowhere else to go. Why else would anyone stay? We won't stop long.
366 men, Varls. By Hadrborg! That's a lot of Varl for some missing cattle. What? Couple days back, sent word to Strand about the cattle. Didn't expect an army. He looks pleased with himself until it sinks in that you aren't here on his behalf. Where have your cattle gone? Wouldn't know. My boys seen men up the hills carrying them away. Whoa. Carrying? Carrying cattle? How big are we talking here? Don't know many men who can hoist a whole cow by himself. That's what I'm asking. Scoffings out here, maybe? Could they have Varl working for them? Not from what the governor told me. I'm going to take a look around and get camp set up. The peasant spits, his eyes anxiously darting about as the caravan sets up tents. Why do I not trust this? We'll be here no more than a day. There's silver for any food you've got. For hundreds of varl? Are you serious? Whatever you're willing to sell. You're thinking of squatting? Not enough room for a couple hunters here. Forget hundreds of... Shut up. Hear that? Where's Ludin? It's faint. Sounds like fighting and something else. Hakon takes off at a run. That's not good. Seriously, we just got into town. Clicking any tile will automatically make a path, but you can also set waypoints. No, 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 no. Really? Really, Ludin? This is what you want to do? You nut job? Oof. Spearman can attack diagonally up to 2 tiles away. Click the top right banner to compare your stats with the enemies. Ludin, you should run. Armor blocks attacks on strength. For each enemy armor higher than your strength, there's a 10% chance the attack will be deflected. Notice the chance to hit shown above the attack button. Attack this enemy's group. Why? Deflected attacks do no damage. From here on out, you will fail catastrophically if you don't break armor. Damaging both strength and armor is equally important. Ow. Wow. Nice job, dude guy. Yay. No, not Tempest. Ow! This guy hurts. Uh-oh. Shit. That's not good. Nope. And he follows. Crap, he did. Well, crap. Drop this guy. Crap, I should have moved him. I was hoping he wouldn't be able to reach him. Oh, deflected. You just move over there. Just move over there. What the heck? I'm not sure I want to know. Okay. Just make sure. Ah, there's another one. What? Alrighty. Ready for promotion. And Gun Alpha's injured again. Oops. Trying to get yourself killed, Ludin! What are you doing? I was trying to get a shot in between the plates. Real smart dude guy. Never seen a dredge before, boy? What kind of idiot? Break their armor first! Where did they come from? We didn't see them. They were just there. Hakon goes to where Vognir lies face down. The future of our king lies motionless, aside from a spreading pool of blood. Vognir's dead. Ouch. Dang. Uh-oh. Where did that thing come from? Yeah, good question. Shh, stay close. I think it saw us. Rook and Alette, deploy them within the blue squares. Click ready to start battle. Oh, that's what it must have been. Always good. Stop beating on my archer. Your renown grows. Well, it looks calm, but you can tell her heart is about to beat right out of her chest. It was. Let me see. Are you hurt? No, I'll be fine. When the dredge attacked your cart and the yaks bolted and spilled most of your supplies, you can see more dark figures moving through trees when you glance that direction. All that food. That's the last we're going to get before winter. What do we do? Don't run. Let me think. Forget the supplies. Let's go to school. If we hurry, we can gather them before more dredge appear. Let's go with that one. We have to try. Be quick! Out comes the yaks while you frantically toss supplies back into the cart. More dredge emerge, but you manage to get the cart moving before they can close in. The colossal figures slowly recede into the distance. Supplies represent food and other goods used to keep everyone alive on the road. When supplies are gone, people will start to die of starvation. The more people are in the caravan, the faster supplies will diminish. You can see how many days of supplies you have left on the travel displayed at the top of the screen. Most towns will have supplies to sell, as well as a few items. Run away! Morale has declined.
I never expected to see the dredge with my own eyes. What happened in the north? Already we see more between the trees as we approach our home, and Alette grips my hand tight. We must find Ivar.
So we know that the Varl are more long-lived than humans, obviously. And the others actually had fought with them. But Uruk here, who seems to be... I won't be generous, and I'll say that he got those gray hairs and he's in his 30s. That still means that those suckers have been beaten back for a while. Ivar! The enormous Varl in question towers over the men in the training field. He squints as you approach. Already back, Huntmaster? Thought you'd be tomorrow. Dredge everywhere! Dredge? How'd they get through Greyhorn? Must have broken through the fort. The fighters nearby have stopped sparring. They gather around you. Damn it. They'll be here soon if they're not already. You hear screams. From the outskirts, people are running towards the Great Hall. Ivar turns to one of the older boys in the group of fighters. Egil! Take Alette to the Great Hall. Tell the chieftain what's happening. The rest of you, gather as many people as you can. Come on, Alette. No, wait, I want to help. Shh. Let them fight, Ivar. Why not invite some goats to join us too? You're asking for dead kids. I won't let anything happen to her. They'll have to deal with this sooner or later, Ivar. What now? Egil, keep your shield up. We just hold them off until everyone's inside. Then we figure out what to do next. More shouts draw your attention to some houses atop a nearby hill. Oh boy. Somebody was still at the houses. Well, I actually think that this would be a good place to stop streaming for now. Thank you all for coming, everyone that did show up. And I will see you another time.